This video is brought to you by
Cool green clothing coming straight up out of that DMV. You know what it is. This that Baltimore designer right here. Come on now, come and show some love and show some support. Go online right now, coolgreenclothing.com, and make your purchase. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. It's important to understand your environment, no matter where you are living at, but especially in the trenches. Even as a kid, knowing what's going on, observing the neighborhood, which ways to walk to school, staying safe and out the way. It's an old saying, being a product of your environment. Some people don't believe in that statement. They think even if you live in poverty with trappers, robbers, and hitters all around, you still can succeed and go through life unscathed. It's probably 1% of people that grow up like that don't end up with a criminal record or worse, as you only know what you see. For example, you take 2 kids, one from the projects with a single mother. She does everything, works hard, helps him with his homework, makes him play in the courtyard so he doesn't get exposed to everything around him. You got another kid growing up middle class, goes to a good school. He has a single mother as well, but his surroundings are a lot better. He sees working people, green grass, people cutting their yards, so his outlook on life will be a lot different by the time he is a teenager, from the little boy that has now been in the jets for years, watching addicts, drug wars, and even bodies dropping. Even if he was a good kid and his mother did her best with what she had, we imitate what we see. And unfortunately, the streets take a lot of our youth one way or another. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will discuss a case of a teen taking the wrong turn in the Baltimore streets. Stephon Tate grew up in West Baltimore, Gilmore Homes Projects to be exact, according to his aunt. Coming up, he was a good kid, being raised by his mother, even in the jets, taking a long way home from school so he could stay out the way and away from the everyday crime in his area. He wanted to be a regular kid and not grow up too fast and set goals. But trying to survive, by the time he was 15, Stephon would be caught right in the middle of his environment, trying to navigate his surroundings. This would get the young man caught up as life got harder by the time he was 16 years old. In 2017, he caught his first charge, a carjacking. While locked up though, he made a positive move by getting his GED. This will make the teen eligible to attend Job Corps to get away from the city and learning the trade. But when Stephon hit the streets, he went back to his environment and doing exactly what he knew how to do, leading to him catching more charges, even though still on probation. And by the time COVID hit, the Department of Parole and Probation was so backed up, it led to violations not being entered in the computer, ended with no warrants being put out, which gave the young man a loophole. The courthouse shut down, police not really around, and cases going unsolved. But guess what? While public officials were out, the streets are always active, no matter the situation. By 2020, Stephon had racked up at least 3 new charges, was on a box, and Job Corps had went out the window. He had 3 active warrants for his arrest, for assault and other charges in Baltimore City and County. But he was allegedly still active in the streets. It seemed the young man with a good head on his shoulders, who tried to stay away from that lifestyle, was now knee deep in it. On his previous carjacking conviction, he first received 8 years, but that was suspended all but 3. And being young, first time offender, he would not even do that, maybe a little bit over a year. But was that enough time to sit and help the young man reflect and want to change his life? On November 13th, 2020, BPD were patrolling the 2400 block of Pennsylvania Avenue when they heard shots go off. It was the middle of the day, like 12:50 p.m. They headed to the location of the shooting, which was in the 1600 block of West North Avenue, to find a man laying face down in the street, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Paramedics tried to help, but unfortunately, the victim passed away. The man was unidentified, but detectives got tips it was a robbery attempt, with people pointing at now 19-year-old Stefan as the shooter, whose address was just 2 blocks away from the crime scene. When police entered his name in the database, it showed 3 warrants, violations, and new charges, as they were confused how the young man wasn't in custody. Later that night, a car was speeding with New York tags. BPD got on top of it as they got an alert the vehicle was involved in an earlier homicide. A chase of the vehicle led to the driver taking them on a high-speed pursuit all through the city before crashing. The driver ended up being 19-year-old Stefan Tate, who was taken into custody on charges of first-degree murder, attempted robbery, probation violations, and other charges he had faced. Once the court realized the young man was wanted for months and violated his probation right after being released, but was listed in the system as unsupervised, it was clear someone dropped the ball, as the state agreed the young man wasn't even supposed to be on the streets. The once good kid was under a statewide investigation, in which arrest of Stefan, even while on probation, wasn't reported to judges, in which the state felt like Stefan's case file had fell through the cracks due to the shutdown from the pandemic. But now he was accused of taking a life. By 2022, still in custody, facing 28 charges from his new case and cases he caught while on probation, the state offered Stefan a plea deal: a life, all suspended but 60 years, 5 years probation, also an additional 20 years for conspiracy to commit robbery, in which him and his attorney rejected the offer. As of now, I couldn't find any new information regarding his sentencing, and he is innocent until proven otherwise. Rest in peace to the victim. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. So now I ask this question again. Do y'all think our kids and teens are products of their environments? I wanted to do this story because, in all honesty, Stefan reminded me of myself. The only difference, he got a break. When I was locked up, I was 17. The judge denied my lawyer's request to drop my charges to juvenile court or send me to any juvenile facilities, because when I caught my 4 armed robbery charges, I was already on probation for breaking the houses. The prosecutor stated if they would have let me go, my crimes would have progressed eventually to murder. Now that I'm older, I hate to admit it, but she was probably right. Prison saved me in a lot of different ways. It gave me time to think and reevaluate who I was and not who I thought I was or wanted to be. I wish Shorty would have served his 8 years or either went to Job Corps. Maybe he would have got back in touch with that good kid running home from school and wanting to do better. But now he is facing a life sentence. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, crazy story, man. Rest in peace to that man who lost his life. Like I said, Shorty is innocent until proven otherwise. Definitely let me know what y'all think about this situation in the comments. Remember to be respectful. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. It's all love, fam. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.